Hello to everybody. I'm so glad you came. You will need to hear us. If you do not hear us, press down on the speaker so that you can hear us, okay? Click down on the speaker so you can hear us, okay? Great. Thank you. Wow, I am so glad you came here. I have a great question for you. How many of you fight with your partners about money? Thank you. And how many of you would like to stop fighting with your partners about money? Thank you. Well, tonight it's me, Mindy Stern, and Caty Hendriks, and we are going to talk to you about money and relationships. And you're going to discover how you can talk with your partner about money and actually use money to help strengthen your relationship, to create a better bond between you, and to actually live the life of your dreams. So, Caty, how are you this evening?
I'm fine. Thank you very, very much, Mindy. I'm really looking forward to this meeting. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Caty and I have been working for about a little bit over a week on this subject to talk to you about money and relationships. And I think we've got a lot of great material for you, If I can start off, just want to talk a little bit about what I've seen a lot happening to my clients when, I deal with money. I work with my clients on money, on how they manage their money. And I see a lot of fighting between them, or they don't talk about money at all between them. And every time they do start to talk about money, they start to fight. Or that, let's say that, how many of you out there buy things and then hide them from your spouse? Do not tell them that you bought them. Thank you.
If you didn't raise your hand, you're lying.
You're probably lying.
So, yeah.
It happens so many times, Caty, when I'm with a client that either she buys something and doesn't tell him, or she takes it out of the bag and tucks it into her pocketbook while she goes into the house, or he also buys something. I mean, I could even ask you guys, who is the spender? Write down in the comments in your underneath us. Who is the spender in your relationship? You or your partner or your partner? Write it down inside, because I've seen so many relationships where there's someone who is accused of spending too much, someone who is irresponsible about money, and the other partner gets really upset. And again, they start to clash. What do you see? Do you see that kind of thing happening with when you coach your clients on relationships? Does money ever come up?
Well, not so much as with you, but it does come up. And also from my own experience, that sometimes we disagree on what to spend money on, because my two boys at home really love to have technical stuff like Xbox, or I even don't know how to call them.
Well, let me just clarify that one boy is your adult boy, your husband, and the other boy is your son, right?
Yes, it's true. But they both love the same in this. So they kind of work together to get all those kind of materials inside the house. And I think, why spend money on this? We already have this or that on it. So we kind of disagree there. Yes. So here it is.
In your family, your husband is the spender. Your husband and your son is the spender.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually they do. But on some parts, I can do it myself too. So we mix a little bit.
What happens is, I think that happens in every family, that both partners are spenders. It just so happens that one likes to do certain things and the other likes to do other things. And then maybe there is a miscommunication about the values, the goals, the priority in the family that's actually making the problem. Because everyone spends, everyone buys things that they want to buy that makes them feel good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's exactly what you say. It's about the values and the priorities, because they are different for both people. Because I like completely different stuff in that than my two boys, because they like the technical stuff, and I, for instance, I like food or clothes or something like that. So it's different. So we have to talk about that, where to spend it. Because how do you do that with your clients, Mindy?
What happens is, a lot of times when the clients come to me, they come to me basically because they are financially stressed. Okay? That's it. And I want to tell you that 80% of the world population is financially stressed. They either spend more than they earn, or they don't have enough money to save, and therefore they cannot do a lot of things in their lives.
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you know this? How many of you know people, or maybe yourself, that you spend more than you earn? Okay. And how many of you feel sometimes that you are struggling just to make ends meet until the end of the month?
Yeah, I know people.
Great, thank you.
I had it myself.
It's 80% of the population is like that, and it's not surprising because nobody teaches us about money. What happens is that the clients that come to me, anyone who comes to me, they have different money stories. You know, they grew up in different homes. The homes had different priorities. The parents acted in different ways. Maybe the parents learned their financial behavior from their parents. Maybe their parents just made it up. Maybe now the people who are living, they're just making it up as they go along because no one ever teaches anybody about money. It's not a subject that we learn in school. A matter of fact, the opposite. We're told not to talk about money.
Yeah.
And it's a bad word. Money is the root of all evil. Don't talk about money. Don't ask people about money. And I think that comes into the relationship where people come with the mindset, okay, it's difficult, I don't agree, so I'm not going to talk about money because money is the root of all evil, and I don't want to bring evil into my home. So the miscommunication, or the lack of communication, I think, causes a really, really big problem.
Yeah, I think so too, because exactly what you say, it's all about the way you think about the money, which we get from our parents, exactly what you say, and we don't learn anything about it. So that's why we also don't know how to communicate about it. And when we do communicate about it, we tend to defend ourselves because that's what we think is important with money. But the other person, your partner, for instance, doesn't think it like that, doesn't like it on that part because he or she wants something different. So then,
right.
Because some money is something that triggers really quickly, actually, on the emotions in the communication. You agree, Mindy?
I think money is more about emotions than it is about actual spending or actual, the numbers, the balance in the bank. Yeah. Money is so connected with emotion, because it actually is it's an energy, and an energy that we can actually use to help us live the life that we want to live. Okay, and it's a tool that we can use to buy the things we want to buy, to learn the things we want to learn, to go the places we want to go. Without money, we can't do all of those things. Yeah. And what happens is when people don't know how to manage their money, it comes into their life. They're not buying the things that they want to buy. They're not going the places they want to go. They're not learning the things that they want to learn because they never have enough money. They're just trying to make ends meet and pay their bills because they don't know how to do it in a different way. So they actually get very frustrated. So it's not only, okay, should I buy, a new refrigerator, or should I buy a new dress, or should I buy a new watch, or should I buy a new video game? It has nothing to do with the game itself. It has to do with a sense of self-fulfillment. I want to live the life of my dreams, and I don't have the means to do that. So if I buy something for myself, that means that my spouse, my partner, won't have enough money to buy what he or she wants to buy for them. And then everyone is going their own certain way in order to feel fulfilled. And they're not communicating about what needs, actually, what emotions are being satisfied by whatever purchase it is that they're wanting to make. And it just makes it, I think, snowball, because we're told not to talk about money. Money's the root of all evil. I feel frustrated in life. I'm not doing the things I want to do. And you, my spouse, who's supposed to love me, are not supporting me. You're fighting me because you don't understand why I need those things. Is this familiar to anybody? Anybody feeling my pain here?
Yeah. It is like that because we all have those convictions about money. So write down in the comments, what are your convictions about money? Is it like money is only for the rich, or you have to play dirty if you want to have a lot of money or be rich? So what are your convictions? Please write it down in the comments below so we can learn from it.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Tiffany says yes. Yes to what? What are your convictions, Tiffany? Let us know a little bit about that. I see that there are people here and some comments. Because beliefs are a very, very essential part. Like I said, everyone comes into a relationship with their own money stories. You know, what their beliefs are. If like you said, money is the root of all evil, or rich people, they have to cheat in order to get their wealth, or money doesn't grow on trees. Or I had a client I spoke with yesterday. She says every time she has money, it goes through her fingertips. She can't keep money. If she earns money, she can't keep it. It just goes through her fingertips. And these are all beliefs that are not supporting. It doesn't support having money in your life.
The same like the belief like you have to work hard for your money. That's also a very, I believe that too, actually. So it's very
so you must work very hard.
Yeah, and it's also very common in Holland. That's what you, it's in the values in Holland. But actually, it doesn't need to be that way. But if you have that belief that if you have to work hard, and for instance, your spouse brings in the money, most of it, and you take care of the kids and work part-time, then you don't have the self-confidence that you worked hard enough for the money. And then you get this kind of a guilty feeling that you spent his money, which you didn't work for. And you see all those little voices working in your head that like going around and around in circles. And that's also one of the things that emotions comes up, and we don't talk about money that easily because we have those little voices talking to ourselves like, I didn't work that hard for it. Or it's not mine, for instance. Who recognize this, that you didn't work for it yourself and perhaps feel a little bit guilty spending it? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, do you see that also? Do you see that also with your clients, Mindy?
I see that a lot of times. However, I must say that most of my clients, both the men and the women work, both of them work. And it could be that someone is earning more money. A lot of times, maybe the man is earning more money. But I think there's a prehistoric belief as well that the men are supposed to manage the money in the house. That I see so much that the women don't know and don't care about what the finances are. Or they want to know, but no one explains. They don't want to ask or interfere or intrude. And they don't know what's going on, or they think they won't understand what's going on. And I'd just like to say that the men don't either. You know, we women are told that by society, and men are told that they have to manage money by society, but no one ever taught them how to do it. So the men in your life may be just as confused. They might be also struggling and trying to do it right, and they might be feeling not very good with themselves because they're not as successful financially as they wanted to be, as they thought they would be, but no one ever taught them how to do it. So also the men are feeling I have a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. I'm not doing it well. I don't want to tell my wife. Maybe I want to protect her. I had a client once that he didn't want to tell his wife because he wanted to protect her, but he was so stressed out that he didn't have a partner that he can share with his stress. He couldn't communicate with her that he needed support himself, because he wanted to protect her, and he didn't want her also to think badly of him because he wasn't doing it, though they weren't in financially a good situation. So it's all the small talk. It has really nothing to do with the figures, the facts and figures themselves. It's all the small talk.
No, true, because that guy, when the women, his girlfriend, or partner, talks about him to money, he feels it like an attack on him. He doesn't do it well, but actually that's not the case. But he doesn't know and she doesn't know, and they start arguing. Actually, that's not only about money, but okay, money is a subject. But so they start arguing, but actually both didn't tell. They're insecure, don't know what they're talking about, don't know what is important for them with the money to do together. So there's a lot of, what's the English word? Not inconvenience, but there's a lot of...
friction. There's a lot of frustration and friction.
Misunderstanding.
And lack of understanding, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here, I have a solution for that. So when I'm working with my clients on money and I want them to start to work together, and I guess it's a lot of things and everything that has to do with relationship, not just the money, but that's our focus today. Is what I suggested them to do is to start learning a new language, start to learn a common language about money. Yeah. Because no one ever taught either one of them. They picked it up as they were going along from their environments, not really knowing if it obviously it doesn't work, because if you're having financial difficulties, whatever you're doing is not working. So if you learn together, it doesn't really matter who's making more money or who's going to take the responsibility for checking the bank, but together to learn the new language of money. of how money is going to support them, not to be the root of all evil, and not to be something that's going to come between them, and not to be something that's dirty and you can't talk about, but to learn together the language of money, where the focus is how can money support us, me, my spouse, and my children, my family as a whole, and not money is not just for spending or for paying your bills. The whole purpose of having money in your life is to be able to live your life that you deserve to live. I call it living the life of your dreams, because the only way you're going to live your life of your dreams is if you dedicate your resources to living your life of your dreams, and that's resources of time and money. So learn together. Read a book on money. I have a book myself that I can put down underneath the link to buy my book, and you can read other books. Someone who had a big effect on me when I was learning about money was Robert Kiyosaki. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is, I think, a classic that everybody should read.
Yeah.
So both the man and the women, husband and wife, both partners should really start to learn together a common language of money and bust up the small talk, the belief systems that you brought up from your childhood, from your past, to create a new belief system that supports having money in your life. And can I say one more thing, Caty?
Of course.
I live and breathe this, so it's important to me. And if I'm taking up too much time, you can always stop me.
No problem.
And interject. But when we start dealing with money, once you start to learn a new language about money, the most important thing is that you need to use your money and plan your money so that it supports your values and your goals. Okay, so when you're in a family environment, whoever's looking at this, the man or the woman, you have values and goals. Your spouse has values and goals, and your children have values and goals. So the right step would be, once you've started the new money language, is discuss what are the values of the family, not just mine and yours and my kids, but everybody should put in what values are important to them. So we know that when we're going to be living and dealing with money and buying things, and we're going to be making priorities in our family, that the values of everybody are supported and known.
I totally agree, but I see with my clients that they don't have a clue about values and what they want in life, actually. So there, I think also a point to start. What are values for the total relationship? Also money, of course, but they don't talk about it. They don't think about it mostly. So I suggest to start there. What are your values? What do you want to experience together in the relationship? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to evolve to with each other? And indeed, get the kids included, because especially when they're a little bit older, they learn also. Of course, they can be subject of the family, but also they learn how to do it for in their own relationships, and so they get a good example. But the problem is, most of the families don't do this. So if you start there and also include the money part in this, I think that will be a very, very good start for the most of the families. What do you think? Is it also with you?
It's where I start. If I look at my workbook that I work with my clients on, in my workbook, the first exercise is an exercise on values, where the husband and the wife, they sit down and they look at a list of a full page, 5 different columns of values, and they choose all of them, the values that are important to them. And there's a discussion going on, because people don't have this discussion ever. It's not a discussion that anybody ever has by free will, by choice, by just thinking about it. Just a pure discussion about values. And that what I do with that is, after they choose a lot of their values, I have them choose each one of them separately, the 5 most important for each one separately, and then to get the 5 most important combined.
Yeah.
Combined.
Yeah.
So this way, when they start to work with money and they start to think about spending and saving and how to raise their children and how to divide their time and their priorities, it's very, very clear to both sides of the couple what is important to them as a team, as a family unit. And they also understand each individual, what's important to each individual. It's the cornerstone, I think, of good communication and understanding. I'm going to suggest now, whoever's listening, write down in the comments below, what are your 5 most important values?
Yeah.
Honesty, integrity, education, excellence, sharing, whatever.
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom, absolutely, yay. So write down. So at the end, Tiffany's asking, at the end of the day, what you have is 5 most common values, most important values of the family unit, of the husband and the wife together. So you'd actually do see 15, but of the 5 that you wrote and the 5 that your spouse wrote, you choose only 5 of them. There are 10. You choose 5 of them that are the most important to you. And that is the basis of establishing your priorities. And when you're going to be managing money, you want to make sure that your money is supporting your values, that there is integrity in that system. Let's say, for example, that education is a very important value. I mean, it's a value in my family. And Caty and you and I met while learning, by continuing our personal education ourselves. I guess education is a value in your family as well. Yeah. But I see a lot of times with my clients is that education is a value, a growth, personal growth in education. However, when they're spending their money, they're not spending their money on education. Yeah. So that leads to frustration because they're actually not, their money's not supporting their value system. So I say to them, okay, let's look at this. When we're deciding on how to spend the money, let's make sure that the things that are most important to you are taken care of in your budget. I have clients with also that culture is super important. To go to concerts and music and reading and is very important. And what happens? They don't have money, or they feel that they don't have money because they do have money because they work and they earn a living. But the mind plays a trick on them and thinks about what they don't have instead of what they do have. But that's for another subject. Yeah. So what I do is she says, okay, we love culture. Okay, so how many plays do you go to a year? How many concerts do you go to a year? How many operas do you go to a year? 0. That can't be. Then there's a big discrepancy between what your core values are, the things that are important to you, and how you're spending your money. So let's see how you can spend your money also on education, on going to concerts, as well as pay all of your bills. And that's an issue of management, just pure, simple management. But once you know what your values are, it's very easy to make management decisions. What happens is that families don't make management decisions because they don't have any guidelines.
No, but because then they are aligned. And then you know where you want to spend money on. And if you want to buy something, you only have to look at your values and think, oh, that's not in my values. And I want this first, those training or education or for my kids or for myself. And then you know, okay, I can't buy this, but we do this. And then you will be fulfilled much, much more than you right now. So yeah, it's a good exercise to do with your partner.
I think it's the way to start. And I'd say that the second thing, as far as managing your money and your communications, another exercise that we do a little bit more inside the process is we define our goals, the goals of the family. And this is different than values. Values are your belief system, your values, but goals are actual things that cost money that you want to bring into your life. Okay? Now, also, what I find a lot with my clients is that maybe, sometimes it happens, and you can tell me probably more with your clients, is maybe before they got married, they had discussed what their goals are. You know, they want to buy a house, or they want to live in a certain neighborhood, or maybe they think education is important for their children on a very general, broad, long-term kind of scope. And what happens is when you get married, at least that was my experience, and that's what I see with a lot of my clients, is that you get married and then you're busy working, and then you have children, and then you buy a house. So you're busy taking care of the kids, and you're busy taking care of the house, and you have to get to work and do your assignments, and you have to take down the garbage and go shopping, and you have to take care of your parents and your siblings. life happens in a very, very fast pace, and we get caught up in life.
Yeah, true. Totally.
So what happens is when you get caught up in life, you don't have any more opportunities to talk about what your goals are. And as the years go by, your goals change.
Yeah, also.
And you don't have time to talk about that because you're so busy picking up the kids from school, or making sure that you're entertaining your guests for the weekend, or you're whatever it is that you need to do. You're so busy with life.
Yeah.
So we do is, after we start looking at the baseline, we look at the family to see where they are today, actual objective. And then we say, okay, what are your goals? So we say, what are your goals this year, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Start looking ahead at the wonderful, beautiful things you want to bring into your life. So if you need to, your goal is to paint your house, or buy a new house, or buy a new car, or get a new refrigerator, or go on a vacation, or take your whole family on a trip around the world, or get a new profession, learn a new profession, send your kids to college, buy your kids a house. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on in the back of your head that you keep saying, most people keep saying, and maybe you guys are going to ask me, how many of you say or have these dreams in the back of your head and just say to yourself, I don't have the money, it's never going to happen?
We did it.
I hear that all the time, the time. So what you do is, once you decide on your goals, what I do is I also give the man and the woman, I gave them a sheet of paper, 1-year goals, 5-year goals, 7-year goals, and more than 15-year goals.
Yeah.
Each of you go your private ways and write down what wonderful, beautiful things you want to bring into your life. How do you want to support your family? How do you want to support your children? What special things do you want to do? Not on a regular day-by-day basis, but the big things. And then I say, okay, do the exercise, and then come together and share with one another. What were your goals? What were her goals? What were his goals? And then make a joint list, not canceling out anything. Because what's important to you is important to you, and what's important to him is important to him. You need to find a way to combine it.
Yeah, but there I see just a small, not a problem, but could be that it goes wrong over there. Because then you think, well, if we do all his stuff and all my stuff, that will be huge, and we will never accomplish that. So there will be some little voices talking that that's not possible, or that we have to choose, or that we have to combine stuff. And then they got the emotions again in our ways. So what we do in our trainings and coachings is that when you feel that you're not aligned anymore, and you get a little bit irritated or frustrated, that you say, okay, let's stop for a moment, because I sense I get irritated. And then you switch places, as in, I take your topic, your subject, which I find important, which you find important. I take it for mine, including the advantages you have, and my partner takes my disadvantages about that topic. And then we start discussing again. But now I was against your proposal because I get irritated about it. But now I take it upon that I think it's very important. So I take the other way. And then I start defending or giving advantages about that. And the partner is doing the opposite. He said, no, that can't be. That's not good. It's costing too much money. We can't do that. And actually, if you do this just 1-2 minutes, shouldn't be too long. What it happens is that both of you see all of a sudden the reasonability of the other person. Like, oh yeah, I get it. And most of the times also, it's very funny to do. And people start laughing. And then it's light again, and it's not a problem anymore, and they can see each other's advantages and also the disadvantages about it. And then all of a sudden there's a solution, and then it's possible again, and there's no irritations again. It's a really powerful exercise to do. And if you can do it and keep it light and laugh about it sometimes on your own, because sometimes you hear things like, do I say that? Oh, that's strange. I didn't mean it like that. Or, oh, that's not nice for me to say. Yeah. And then actually you start laughing about yourself too. And it makes life much easier if you do it like this. So that's a very good exercise to do if you get a little bit irritated or frustrated about subjects.
I think that is such a wonderful idea. It really makes a lot of sense. And it really gets, if I understand correctly, it's taking on the other person's perspective and then role playing it. So
yeah, it is.
I'm actually becoming an advocate for what you want, even though I thought it wasn't good.
Yeah, indeed.
And you're actually seeing what the problems are, what I thought were the problems, and you have to defend that. Wow, that is a fantastic exercise, Caty. Fantastic.
It is. And it makes the conversation so light again. And that's exactly what is necessary in the communication of these difficult subjects. Because there is a saying from Blair Singer, you know him too, when the emotions goes up, intelligence goes down. And then it's very difficult to stay polite and to stay with your values and not to get in discussions or even say, as I did in the past, very annoying, not annoying. I become very nasty to my ex-partner then. And I say really horrible stuff to him. And afterwards, I was ashamed of myself, but then I already did it. So to prevent that, try this one. It's really better.
I think that is fantastic. I think that's a great idea, and it brings down the stress. Yeah. Now, when you're planning your goals and looking at it, and there's a question here about it also. It's if you make a list of all the goals, what happens to the fact that you really don't have enough money for it? It's not true that you don't have enough money. It's just you don't know how to plan for it. If you write down what all your goals are and you agree to them, and there's a way to do it, that you write what the goal is, when you want to achieve the goal, how much it's going to cost, and if you started saving today, how much you would have to save for that. So this way you're getting a perspective. The first step of achieving it is actually to write it down in the detail that's required to say, okay, now how can I do that? The second stage is to see, okay, what comes first? It doesn't mean yours is better than mine. Let's see, maybe a time constraint, something comes first, or maybe a priority. We have a priority. Let's say you just have children now, but both of you believe in education. And that's a big value of the family. So if you start saving money for education when the kid is small, then there's no problem when he gets old. It's just a little bit of money that you have to save every month in order to reach your goals way out there. The problem is that today you feel that you don't have enough savings, but that doesn't mean that you won't have enough savings tomorrow. And when you start managing your money with your goals as the lighthouse, with your laser beam focus on what you want to achieve, those good things you want to bring in your life, then the small decisions about how much food do I buy, or how many toys do I buy, or where I go on vacation or holiday, or how many times I go to a restaurant, or whatever, those little small decisions of every day become very, very easy because you have these major goals and values that make your life so happy that you're looking forward to.
Yeah. Because you specifically mentioned you have to manage your money. What do you mean by managing your money? I think I know, but you're the expert, so I always have some good tips.
Okay, so a little bit about managing your money on very quickly, which is not easy to do because it's a whole process. When I work with my clients for managing money, we work for a whole year to change completely the perspective of how people work with money and start to achieve their goals. But the most important things are this. One, you know what your values are. Two, know what your goals are. Those are the most important things. Know what your goals. And then when you start to build a budget, you need to build a balanced budget. What you want to do is a balanced budget, just I'm going to put in parentheses, balanced budget means that you know exactly what your income is and you spend your income. You have got categories for all of your income, and you finish the month with $1, €1, 1 shekel plus in your budget, not according to the bank, but in your budget. So meaning if you earn 10,000 euro, you have assigned 10,000 euro to different categories in your life, okay? And the basic concept that I work with, that not many financial coaches work with, is that whatever you spent in the past is what you're going to spend in the future, because your spending actually reflects your belief system, reflects your priorities. You buy things that you think are going to make you happy. So you have voted on a lifestyle, on your ideal lifestyle, by the things that you buy, the things that you spend money on.
Yeah.
So if you look at what you spent money on in the last year, this is important. A year, go back a year and just write down everything in your bank account, your credit card statement, checks, what you spent money on. And there you define the categories, the things that are important. Okay? In that, you can find that you spend too much here or too little there. That's not inconsequential, but what's important right now are the things, because those are the things that are important to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they start managing money, they think that they have to cut expenses, cut. And they cut out a lot of these things that are important. And then it adds more to their frustration, because not only are they not managing their money well and not saving, but they're also not buying anything that they want to buy. And they feel very small and insignificant. And some people can feel like failures, as bad as that.
Yeah.
It goes back to the emotion in the little voice.
Yeah.
But once you know on what you want to spend money on, and you know what your income is, then you can divide your income into all of those categories, all of them. So if you went to the theater, then you're going to continue to go to the theater. If you get massages, you're going to get massages. If you take courses, you're going to continue to take courses. Now, because you have the limit of your income, you can decide now how much you're going to spend on these things and how often you're going to spend on these things, but you're going to do them. I mean, I had a client come to me once and said, no, I'm not going to, I went to massages. I did a massage once every 2 weeks, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I said, no, you cannot not do it anymore. You don't have to do it every 2 weeks. But if you've gone to a massage and you like a massage and it helps you with your mentality, with your physicality, then you continue to going to massages.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's decide how much money. Maybe you can find a masseur who costs a little bit less. Maybe you can go not every 2 weeks, go every 3 weeks. But continue to spend money on the things that are important to you.
Yeah.
And to include in all of that in the budget, savings for the goals that we talked about before. There needs to be some savings. And now I'm going to put in another parenthesis. You will never be able to save for all of your goals from your salary. Okay, so someone wrote here, I think it's Tiffany wrote here, but what if I really don't have enough money for anything, for everything? That's where the education is so important, because from your salary, you really will not have enough money to meet all of your goals. You'll be able to meet some small goals, but if you're saving 50 euro, 100 euro, even 1,000 euro a month, it's not enough. So what you need to do once you have a balanced budget and you know how to live with your money and control your money, you need to start to invest it. Let your money work for you. Put your money in the right places. Make sure that your assets, the things that you purchase, they're working well for you and giving you the most interest that they can give you. Most people, they don't look at these things because they don't know what they are. They don't know where they are. And that's exactly why you need to learn together with your spouse this new language so that you can investigate it together, so you can make decisions together, prioritize together, and you can learn. It is so easy, Caty, to manage money once you can separate it from the emotion and you can connect it to your values. It becomes very, very easy. You just have to learn the tools. And I've included here in no, it's not scary. Someone wrote it's scary. It's not scary. It's empowering. It's enlightening. It is actual freedom. You can have financial freedom even if you're not making a lot of money or you don't have a lot of investments. You can create financial freedom today in your family if you know just how to manage your money and support your goals.
Yeah, the only thing is you have to learn it. It's a learnable skill. I don't know very much about it either, but next month I'm going together with my husband to a seminar to learn about it, because we want to learn new stuff. And we want to expand our learnings about that. And we want to do it together also, because as you said, you have to be on the same page on it. But I think in Holland, I don't know if that's the same in Israel or in America, but in Holland, it's very not known to invest or to speculate with money or to trade with it. It's only for the rich. I saw your face like, oh no. Yeah. But that's also in my belief. That's only for the rich. And so I get that it's scary. I don't know who said it, but I get that. But I also learned in the last half year that it's only a system, and you only need to know the system, and you can learn that system. And
Absolutely.
what you said, you don't need thousands of money for it. It's step by step by step by step doing it. And that's, if you can do that together with your partner, it's brilliant. And you can grow together, you can learn together. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
You're going to have a great time. It's really, if you can know how to make your money work for you, because your money's out there. People think that investing is scary, and I get it. If you anything you don't know is scary. Even driving a car can be scary if you don't know how to do it. But once you know how to do it, and more than that, what was I going to say? We're already invested. I mean, in most countries around the world, there's mandatory pension programs. You have to invest in a pension program. All of your pensions are invested. They're not sitting in a bank and just waiting for you. They're all of them are invested. And that's your money. And even if it has to be there, you can, a lot of times you can choose how it's going to work for you, what program it's going to be in, to make sure that it's the best for you. So you are already invested. So don't be scared about it. Take control of it. Learn how to do it, and do it in the best way to support your goals and your dreams, and not just yours alone. You and your spouse and your family and your children.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you want to know where I go next month, just send me a PM and I will tell you. There will be a lot of space. I think you can just join, no problem. It's in London though, so you have to come to London.
I think I was in the same program last April. Fantastic program. Yeah, and I continue to learn. You know, education is probably my highest value. Education and personal development.
Yeah, but also I learned a lot last year that not only personal development, but also business development. Even if you don't have your own business, but business development and personal development, then the
and financial development.
Yeah. For me, that's included in the business development.
Okay.
Actually, it's good that you say it, because the personal, business, and financial development, those three should be really connected, and then you really, then there's no end. It's just the beginning then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it starts all with communication with your partner about it, and putting values and a goal in it. So if that's the tip that you take away from this session, please do it. And if you want one of us both to help you, just let us know, no problem. I think you would like to help a lot of more people, Mindy, do you?
That is my dream. I'm out here just to help people. I had to learn how to manage money. I didn't know how to do it all my life. I had to learn how to manage my money, to get out of debt, to start being financially free. I had to learn to develop my business. I had to do a lot of learning and a lot of growing. And because I've done it, I know how it can be so empowering and so a wonderful experience for people, that I'm here to help any of you who have any question. You can write down the questions in the comment. You can private message me or Caty, whatever you want to do. We've both left down there some tips for you, tips on money and tips on relationships. You put in a daily planner.
Yeah, with a lot of tips.
Okay, so sign up for them, download them, sign up, and start getting your money and your relationships worked out together to empower you, to give you a great lifestyle, relationship with your family. And Caty, I really appreciate you doing this with me together. It's really been a wonderful experience for me.
Yeah, I love doing it, and you have so much experience in money, so I learned also from this program already, from this moment. So thank you very much for your time and your all your ideas and your enthusiasm actually also in it, because you're really driven about it. I can see that.
I am. So you too. Thank you so much, and thank you for the tips. Good night to everybody. Take care.
Everybody. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Is it stopped now or?
It's application error. Whatever that means, I don't know.
Okay.
Just shut your video off.